Hey everybody, TS Hawkeye. I'm going to try not to slur my way through this review. I want to talk about Morbius the Living Vampire. He came out in the Marvel Universe line. He was a very late addition. I actually had to spend a little bit more money than retail to get this figure, only because Morbius was always a huge, one of my favorite characters, honestly. I'll give you a little history on Morbius, and then we'll go into the figure. He originally debuted in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 101. Not sure of the year. It was a two-part story, 101, 102. That's after the Comic Code Authority relaxed a little bit. And, well, he couldn't technically be an undead vampire. That's why he's Morbius the Living Vampire. He was showed up in Spider-Man comics. He showed up in a few other comics through the 70s. He actually was he starred in Adventure into Fear from, correct me if I'm wrong, I think number 20 to number 31, which was the end of the series. Made a few appearances. He made an appearance in the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man title in number 13. And then he was kind of roped into the Rise of the Midnight Suns, which was kind of a Ghost Rider family of titles in 1992. He had his own series, which lasted for 31 issues. I have all 31. They're hit or miss. The first 10 are gold. And then he showed up, you know what I mean? He most recently that I know of in the Marvel Zombies kind of line of things. He also had, I think it went for 9 issues a couple of years ago. It was a really good story. I thought they treated the character really well. That being said, not a whole lot of people know about this character. I've been in the comic book store talking about, it's like, it's this and this. And even with a Morbius movie coming out with Jared Leto, whatever his name is, the guy that played the Joker, it's he's not a really well-known character. So, one of my favorites. I don't know why I like this figure so much, or the character so much, but, when the figure came out, I had to have it. So we'll go into the figure. It's, there's the face. I think it's decent. It's got some nice, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's painted on his cheeks to highlight how, how sallow his face is, being a vampire. He's got the long hair, which he always had. This is his first appearance costume. It's differed a tiny bit over the years. Again, when he had a series in 1992, he got a new costume. It was all leather. It had stuff on the back, so it wasn't bad. But, I like this costume the best. So, his head turns side to side. There's a little bit of up and down, but since he kind of has this collar, it kind of hinders the movement a tiny bit. It's I'll show you the back. He's got a cape, which is a nice which is a nice detail. It's painted red. It looks, it's he puts his arms out, and it's kind of, it's decent. He has the shoulder articulation. He has got the elbows that bend. It also turns. There's nothing on the elbow or on the hands. This is one piece of plastic. This, again, being later in the line, a lot of the figures use this same mold. And it kind of, it's, as far as I know, the line's pretty much dead. They're not going to release anymore. I wish they would. Anyway, so, as I said, that's one piece of plastic. He can move at the hip, double jointed knees, and his feet up and down, and on a slight pivot. So, again, I wish this figure was a little bit more posable. I made a custom. I might swap some parts out, but it's a good looking figure. It definitely looks like he did in the comic books. So there's a huge plus. It's not as posable as I'd like, especially for a darker character that, he should be able to crouch down and have the hands out and, just basically be a little more menacing. But unfortunately, the posability doesn't. Again, it's not a terrible figure. He can, get into some nice poses. Yeah, looks beautiful on the shelf. So again, I like the figure. This figure was going to be, as I said, I paid probably twice retail for the figure, and I was even, because I knew the posability issues, the articulation, I was going to leave it on card, but I only have a few figures on card that are hung up on the wall, and this was a figure I kind of wanted to pose against, like, my Spider-Man with my Ghost Rider, kind of at odds with Blade. So again, I opened it. And again, I'm not disappointed. I'll give you another look at the figure. It's it's certainly, again, for the articulation issues, which aren't really issues. It's just coming from a line that had so much great articulation earlier. They could have used a few different sculpts, but again, articulation costs money, and I'm happy to have a Morbius figure. So if I had my custom, hold on a sec. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyway, but no, it's a good figure. Pick it up. Excuse me, pick it up. It's basic black. He's got the white. His skin is white. He's got, he's muscled. And the cape is a nice feature. So, again, figure gets a good review. Surprise, surprise. All right. Have a great night. It's Morbius Living Vampire. Look up some of his comics. He's, again, because he's had some great stories over the years. So, all right. Have a great night. Keep on collecting. TS Hawkeye. I'll see you again. And stream.